So first of all, just to kind of start, how's the week going? What's the preparation been like? How are things?
It's been good, we just been preparing and watching a lot of film. Just talking about some of the schemes that we're gonna play with and things that we're gonna do against them. So it's been a good week, and I think we're getting there each and every day.
Yeah, you've gotten off to such a great start this year. What do you think has worked so well for you?
I just think, playing within this system. Obviously, it's a different system for me than what I'm used to or what I play with, in North Carolina. So, just getting used to the system, getting used to, knowing what my guys like to ball and, playing within, them. And, I just think, our offense is just so good that, everybody looks good when, we're playing all together.
Yeah, you talked about getting used to the system. So when you think back to deciding to transfer and your initial conversations with Tommy Lloyd, what stood out to you and what eventually made you choose Arizona?
Obviously, the fast pace of how fast we play and we get up and down as far as transition baskets and that's kind of me in a nutshell as far as I'm probably my best on the open floor and playing in a lot of ball screens and that's what I do best. So I just felt like that was fit for me and then also I could help this team with making the right reads and give my teammates great shots.
Yeah. Was there kind of a certain moment that you can think back to when you feel like everything started to gel with you and this team?
Really this summer. When we first got down here, obviously, we had to get to know each other and, I had to build that chemistry. But, we went on our foreign trip this summer to Israel and Abu Dhabi. And I think that kind of, put the icing on the cake as far as, us, being with each other for so long in a different country. We had to, be around each other so much and learn a lot of new things with each other. Some of the, my teammates never been out of the country, including me. So that was a great experience, and then just to experience that with your brothers and coaches, it was a great experience and great thing to do to kick off our year.
Yeah. Among your teammates, when you first got to campus and moved to Tucson, who were some of the ones that maybe reached out first and were the most kind of welcoming to you at that time?
Well, when I first committed, Big O, he was the first person to reach out to me. He was so excited to have me, and then it just trickled down from there. The first person I seen when I came down was JB. Me and him, when he first got down here, me and him, I went to his house. We just chopped it up for a little bit, and I just kind of asked him a few questions on like what he was looking for, and how could I help in any kind of way. And then just me and Keshad as well. Keshad was also one of the first people I talked to as well. So then it just went down from there. So I enjoy being around these dudes, and I'm grateful each and every day. I thank God every day that I'm here with being in this position and being around these such great people. It's amazing.
You mentioned Umar, so I want to ask you about him. You guys look like you're having a lot of fun playing together. What's been
Yeah.
your favorite part of playing with him?
Uh, well, off the court, he's just he goofy. So, just being around him, he's a so fun to be around, and he's a character. So, I love being with him off the court. But on the court, it's everything inside him that I enjoy about being around him. As far as a competitor, he's a dog. He plays with passion each and every time he steps on the floor. So I know that he has a chip on his shoulder, and I know exactly where he comes from and his why. So knowing that and knowing how hard he plays, I go to war with him each and every time.
Yeah, you brought up playing with the chip on your shoulder. Is that something that you feel like you're playing with too?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I carry that everywhere I go. As far as just knowing the things that I've went through in the past, and as far as the situations I've been in. So I just carry that, and then it just gives me a little bit more of an edge and more of a want to win these games for this team and the Arizona basketball. So just knowing that I love playing with a chip on my shoulder, and it gives me that extra passion that I need to play out there on the floor.
Yeah. Where do you feel like that comes from for you?
I feel like my parents. I feel like they instilled that in me from day one. When they put, not only a basketball in my hands, but anything I played, football, soccer, whatever it was. They always, wanted me to play with like a chip on my shoulder, or like, put my all into it, my heart into it. So, I feel like I get that from them, and then just seeing them, go so hard every day, not only for me, but also for their family, and their parents and things like that. They instilled that into me.
Hmm. How long did you play soccer for?
I played soccer for about 4 years when I was younger. If that 4 or 5 years, and I was like, nah, that's not for me. I was like a little YMCA kid, but it was, I got a little bit of footwork though. I got few tricks in my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, I know Umar played soccer too. I think he was a goalie, right? Have you guys ever ever played soccer in your free time or anything?
Well, we do like the little, kick tricks or whatever, where who can
Hmm.
tap the ball as many times in pregame. But nah, I let them, the foreigners, I let them do that because that's exactly what they do.
Speaking of, the rest of the team, we talked about Umar, but you mentioned Keshad and a couple others. So what would you attribute this growing chemistry? It seems like, with every game and including in Saturday's win, that this team just continues to play better together. How are you continuing to build that chemistry on the court?
I just think Coach Lloyd does a great job of, working on our culture each and every day. He preaches that, day in and day out on, how he wants this culture to be and how he wants it to look. So just knowing that, you got a coach that, is kind of with you and working on it with you, it kind of helps with us. And then we just carry it, on the court and then off the court as well. Like, me, Keshad, and a few others, Jackson Cook, Dylan Anderson, we all went bowling the other night. So just things like that that we'll do, on our own, just to keep the chemistry there. Build, learn new things about each other, and it's also fun too. Just being there with your teammates, and it's just y'all.
Hmm. Who won when you went bowling?
Me, of course. They'll say, we played 3 games. The first one, Jackson won the second one, and then the third game we didn't get to finish because they closed. So, but I was gonna win that game, so I say I was up 2-1.
Right. Naturally.
Yeah.
Um, what other kind of things have you guys done off the court, as far as bonding goes?
We'll just go to each other's houses and watch a few games, or play 2K, play Fortnite together, things like that. It doesn't have to be nothing like crazy where we gotta, you know, plan something like that. We went to First Watch. We went to go out to eat. We went to breakfast. I can't remember after what game, but yeah, we went to First Watch all together to brunch. So that was a good thing for us.
Hmm. How would you describe Tommy Lloyd as a coach?
Um, he's one of the biggest competitors I know. As far as how detailed he is. As far as he's probably the smartest coach I know too. Just the things that he puts together, and how much detail matters to him. And scout. He puts a lot of time and effort into the scout and making sure we're prepared for each and every game. So I just describe him as he's a player's coach for sure. He lets us play within his rules and regulations. But he's definitely a player's coach that lets us play with the utmost confidence. He instills that as well. So I just say he's a player's coach, and he's very competitive, and he's fun to be around as well.
Hmm. That's great. Um, so looking ahead to Saturday and this matchup with Purdue, I know you played them in 2021, and obviously the team was a little bit different then, but what do you remember from that? And then do you feel like there's still anything that you can take from that game into Saturdays?
Well, they had Zach Edey, and they also had I think Trevion Williams. That was their kind of backup big. He played alongside him sometimes, but yeah, they definitely had Big Boy up down in the paint. So I do remember him being a beast, and him imposing his will. So I mean, he's a great player. Obviously, he won National Player of the Year, so you got to respect that. He's put a lot of work in to improve his game over the course of his time at Purdue. So obviously, we know he's a tank, but they got also great players around him, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lloyd, and there are other core players, but. I feel like we stack up pretty well against them, and from the game, I think they play kind of the same. They just put shooters around Zach Edey. They play through Zach Edey, and we'll be prepared for him though.
Yeah. Is there anything kind of that you, when you're watching film and getting ready for this game, that you've kind of been honing in on that you think is a particular area of importance on Saturday?
Just obviously, we got to make it tough for Zach Edey, and things like that. But they got other players. They got shooters around them, so we got to make sure we close out on shooters and eat their airspace up. So it's gonna be tough game for us. But I think just watching the film and seeing the key things that they like to do, as far as what they like to do on the offensive end, what the weaknesses is on defense. Then just picking our poison. And I think transition is definitely going to help us because we play so fast and they kind of a slower pace, but they still kind of play fast. But I feel like our transition and then the offensive rebounding is going to definitely, improve our chance of winning.
Mm-hmm. You've played in a lot of big games, both at UNC and now already at Arizona. What do you feel like you can learn about your team from a game like this one?
I feel like, we're battle tested already. We played in a lot of hostile environments, as far as, Duke, Michigan State. We played in a great, environment as far as Wisconsin, and we all know what that meant to, Arizona basketball. But I feel like, going into this game, we're going to treat it, just as such. It's a big game. It's an important game for us. But I think, we go in there with our hard hats on and ready to, go to war. I feel like, I believe in every single one of those guys in that locker room that, we'll come out on top.
Mm-hmm. Going back to you specifically, I know one area people have talked a lot about this year with you is your assist-to-turnover ratio and how much that has improved. How much was that an area of focus for you in taking care of the ball in this offseason?
Very important. I talk to Coach Lloyd about it almost, every week. It's just, tracking my assist-to-turnover as far as in practice and pickup games or whatever the case may be, watching a lot of film and how I could improve that drastically. So it's a constant uphill battle as far as just trying to keep that up there and keep leveling up. But I just watching a lot of film and knowing exactly what defenses do, and where I can get my assists and where I can what defenses like to do as far as if they like to pressure or if they like to cheat the gaps or things like that. Knowing when not to turn the ball over is very key. So watching film has been helping me a lot.
Mm-hmm. You said you started tracking them even playing pickup?
Yeah, things like that. Pickup and in practice. I've just been tracking those a lot. And, they keep stats in practice, so that helps.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that you had always done, is like track them in obviously, like you said, keep stats in practice, but what about pickup? Had you always done that?
Nah, not always. But especially this year, just, making sure I, check that box. It's definitely been key.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So, looking to Saturday and then kind of beyond, obviously, this team has a very high ceiling. What do you feel like you would have to do in order to reach the potential that you feel like this team is capable of this year?
Stay humble and hungry. I think that's very key for us. Obviously, we're number one in the country, but just not getting too big-headed as we, go along the season as far as we, winning these big-time games and things like that. Not getting big-headed, not getting complacent, and then also just staying hungry. Because, obviously having a number one is a target on your back. So everybody's going to give you their best game. So we can't come in lackadaisical or come in, thinking that we already won. Because everybody's coming for us. So I think we, once we, continue to stay hungry, I think the sky's the limit.